Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. I never meant for it to go that far. When I said yes to a stranger's proposal in a dim, crowded club, I wasn't chasing love or betrayal. I was chasing a reaction. A heartbeat. Proof that my boyfriend still cared. But the moment he saw the ring, the flicker of devastation in his eyes carved something permanent inside me. It started as a stupid game. The music that night pulsed like a heartbeat through the floor, smoke curling in waves around flashing lights. I'd gone to the club with my best friend, Mia, after another fight with Ethan. He had grown distant over the past few months, barely answering my texts, spending more time working late than being with me. I told myself I just wanted him to miss me. Make him jealous, Mia had said, laughing as we leaned against the bar. Guys like him need to see what they could lose. That's when I saw him, tall, charming, all smooth confidence. He had a way of smiling that made you forget where you were for a second. His name was Alex. He bought me a drink and we talked. I told him I had a boyfriend, but my tone was careless, detached. I wanted him to ask more, to push a boundary just enough to make Ethan notice later. When Alex suddenly said, "If I asked you to be mine, would you say yes?" I laughed. But then he pulled out a small ring. Cheap, a bar prop maybe, and slipped it onto my finger. Everyone around us cheered. Cameras flashed. My friend screamed. She said yes. And I didn't say no. It was stupid. Harmless. Until it wasn't. The next morning I woke up to a dozen missed calls from Ethan. A single text from him read, "Is this a joke?" I froze. Then opened social media. Mia had posted the video. The ring. My laugh. The kiss Alex planted on my cheek as people clapped. My stomach dropped. I called Ethan immediately. He didn't answer. The silence on the other end felt heavier than any shouting could. I drove straight to his apartment, my heart pounding so hard it felt like it might bruise my ribs. He opened the door, still shirtless, his eyes red-rimmed but calm, too calm. On the table behind him sat a half-empty whiskey bottle and his phone, still playing the clip on loop. "Ethan, it wasn't real," I said, stepping forward. "It was just a game. I wanted to see if..." "If what?" He cut me off. His voice was low, dangerously steady. "If you could humiliate me in front of everyone to get my attention?" Tears stung my eyes. "You weren't even looking at me anymore. I just wanted. You wanted to make me jealous, so you said yes to another man's proposal. You kissed him. You wore a ring." He rubbed his temples, shaking his head. "How is that not cheating?" His words hit like knives because part of me knew he was right. But another part screamed that it wasn't that simple. It wasn't about him, Ethan. It was about us. You stopped caring. You stopped fighting for me. He let out a bitter laugh. "And your solution was to betray me publicly? To make me the fool?" I couldn't find words. My breath came out in small, shaking bursts. He looked at me, really looked at me, and I saw something in his eyes collapse like trust breaking soundlessly. Then he turned away, whispering, "You made your choice." I left that night with a storm in my chest. For days I replayed every moment. The way he didn't yell. The way he didn't chase after me. I expected anger, not silence. Silence was worse, it was the sound of finality. Mia kept saying he'd come around. "He's just mad," she said. "Give him space." But deep down I knew. I had crossed a line that couldn't be redrawn. A week later I went to his apartment again. His car wasn't there, but the door was unlocked. Inside, the walls felt emptier. A few drawers were open. His clothes were gone. On the counter lay a small envelope with my name written in his handwriting. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was the ring I'd worn that night at the club, and beneath it a note that said, "I hope he gives you the attention you were looking for." That single sentence burned through me like acid. I sank to the floor, clutching the ring, sobbing until my throat went raw. All I wanted was proof that he still loved me. Instead, I proved that love built on insecurity could destroy itself. Weeks passed. I deleted the video, deactivated my accounts, avoided mutual friends. But every night, I'd scroll through old messages, photos, memories. Tiny pieces of what used to be us. I wondered if he did the same or if he'd already buried me in the past. Then one night I saw him. I was sitting in my car outside the coffee shop we used to go to. He walked out holding hands with someone else. A brunette, laughing softly. She touched his arm the way I used to. My chest tightened. I couldn't move. He looked happier, freer. For a long moment I considered getting out, saying something, anything, but what would I even say? That I missed him? That my little game destroyed everything? That I'd trade every ounce of my pride just to hear him call me his again? Instead, I stayed there watching him walk away. That night I finally understood. Jealousy wasn't proof of love. It was proof of fear of losing something you never truly trusted in the first place. I tried to make him jealous, but what I really revealed was how deeply insecure I had become, how desperately I wanted to feel chosen. In trying to test his love, I ended up failing the test of mine. Months later, Alex, the guy from the club, messaged me out of the blue. "Still wearing the ring?" he joked. I stared at the message for a long time before replying. "No. I learned my lesson." Then I blocked him. I took the fake ring from my drawer that night and walked down to the pier near Ethan's old place. The wind was cold, sharp, biting against my skin. I held the ring between my fingers, the metal cheap and weightless. For a second I thought about everything it had cost me: trust, love, peace. Then I threw it into the dark water and watched the ripples spread until they disappeared. Sometimes I still dream of that night, the lights, the laughter, the cheering crowd. But in my dreams, Ethan is there too, standing in the corner watching. His eyes don't hold anger anymore, just sadness. And in that silence, I finally understand that betrayal isn't always sleeping with someone else. Sometimes it's betraying the heart that only wanted honesty. When I walked away from that pier, I didn't feel free. I felt empty. But maybe that emptiness was the first honest feeling I'd had in a long time.